ーネットにあるコナンの言葉が英語しかなかったよ。
そうそうそう。
日本のアニメ使って英語を最初勉強してたわけ。
そうそう。これは文部科学省メックスねの奨学金で来日しました。
すごくない？
Yep.
その年で100人くらいってこと？
And that's when I first find out mathematics is not taught the same way everywhere.
ルーマニアと日本が違ったってこと？
そう違った。お辞儀の仕方
Oh.
の研修。When you do something very bad, you should bow at 90 degrees. Normally, you would have to bow at like 45 degrees.
で、その時に実際の日本はどう見えた？やっぱ違うじゃん、理想とこの現実みたいな。
理想を超えた。
超えた。
今日はルーマニア人のアナが日本を愛した理由と歴史について話してみるよ。
Let's find out!
こんにちは、全人類と友達になるとかばおくなんです。そして
アナです。
バリンです。今日のテーマはルーマニア人のアナが日本を愛した理由について。
An Anna Chushin video. Awesome. Our fans are gonna be so happy about this, no?
コメント欄に本当にアナ含めて、僕以外のね4人のメンバーがどうやって日本に来ることになったのかみたいな話がね知りたいなっていう声がねいっぱい寄せられるんですよ。
嬉しいね。
そう、もっと一人一人にフォーカス当てたいなということで、今日はアナに人生グラフを書いてもらいました。横軸が年齢とか、時間だよね。で縦軸がジャパンラブ度。
ジャパンラブ度？
面白い。見たことないグラフだね。
Who came up with this?
ジャパンラブ度ってことで、日本に興味持ったタイミングとかっていうのが、これで分かるようになってる。だからこの人生グラフを元にして、アナの今までの歴史、ちょっと今日聞いていこうかなと。
If this is Japan love,
Yeah.
the viewers are gonna be very interested about this certain point. Because either you make them really, really angry that you hate Japan, or it's gonna be a kind of hanashi. But you'll find out.
はい、それでは行ってみましょう。
When I wrote the graph, I was really mayo whether or not to make a sen here. Because like it went from 0 to this level, right? When I was like 5 or 6, when I first discovered anime, I was like, it went from 0 to this level, but it wasn't like gradual. So it's more like a まっすぐ線。
だから5歳までは日本のこと全く知らなかったってことね。
そうそうそう。
なるほど。
So I was around 5, 6 years old, okay? There was this special channel that they would 放送される normal cartoons. But at 8 p.m., the channel changes and it became from Minimax, it transforms into Animax.
Whoa.
And there was only anime channel from 8 p.m. to 12. And the first anime they always put, and I was every day waiting with my heart up for it, it was Kyoro-chan.
Really? So Kyoro-chan was your first influence of anything Japan?
Yeah.
Oh my
much.
god. So you must love Chocobo, no?
衛星放送でアニマックスでチャンネルは日本のアニメをバーって放送してるやつがあるよね。
そう。
それがルーマニアでも流れてて、
そう。
でキョロちゃんやってた。
そう。その通り。I mean, I didn't know it was Japanese at the point.
あ、そういうこと？
Yeah.
Right.
So for the longest time, I never knew anime is a thing to begin with. I just liked it. Like, that was my first eye, right? And then they started on other channels as well to put even more anime. And that's when I started with like Pokemon, Bakugan, and then came Naruto.
でそれが5歳くらいってことね。
そうそう。次は12歳の時、ナルトがルーマニアのテレビの方で放送されたって言ったやん。それで中任試験の真ん中で放送がやめた。
Right. That's a good part.
Exactly.
That's such a good part. What the heck?
それは結構な事件だよね。
その通り。だからもうテレビではないからどうしよう続きめちゃくちゃ見たいのにってなって、もはやネットの時代になってましたから、ネットで調べて初めてナルトが日本のものだと。Technically, it was the first day with the Japanese language in a way. It's like, oh my god, what is this? This is how they talk actually. Because like there are very different voices for the Romanian.
What did it sound like to you at first?
I was really curious. I think curiosity was the biggest one. Because like being in Romania, you are kind of used to hearing other languages because that's how Europe kind of works. You drive a few hours and you're in a different country already. And I've had neighbors who were like from Turkey, or one of my classmates' father was Arab. So to some degree, I was used to countries surrounding Europe, but I've never heard a language so distinctive.
Right.
In comparison to my own language.
Because I feel like a lot of European languages have their similarities, right?
Yeah.
But then the Japanese feels like the total opposite of something that you've never heard before.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
5歳から12歳までアニメ見てどんどん好きになっていって
そうそう
12歳で初めてアニメって日本のものだったのって気づいたってことね。
そう気づいたというか、ちゃんと意識した。
意識した。はいはいはい。
そうそうそう
Okay.
でそっからもアニメを見続けた感じ？
そう、アニメを最初はルーマニア語の字幕で見てて、There was Detective Conan that I was watching, and I was watching with the Romanian subtitles. But with Romanian subtitles online, you can only find until episode 56.
Wow, that's very specific.
多いな、さっきからなんか中任試験からナルトは放送されなくなったり56話までしかコナンなかったり。
But you can find it with English subtitles. A big motivation for me to learn English because I couldn't understand it with English subtitles either.
ちょっと待って、インターネットにあるコナンの言葉が英語しかなかったよ。
そう
日本のアニメ使って英語を最初勉強してたわけだ。
そうそう。We already have English classes from like 4th or 2nd grade, right?
Okay.
But it's Detective Conan who uses a lot of deductive reasoning.
Right.
And
It's
like,
a very logical anime.
Right. And understanding all those kind of complicated... Because like he would explain how certain jiken happens in like very detailed... And sometimes you would go even into science or other things that sometimes you don't even understand in your own language.
Yeah.
So it was, rather than learning English, it was a motivation to like actually getting better at English.
Oh my god. That's a very, very specific story. You know, like growing up in the States, you hear a lot about people studying Japanese to understand anime.
Right.
But you didn't have that. You wanted to understand the English subtitles so well, so you took the first step to learn English so you could understand what was written there, and then take the next step and study Japanese after. That's oh my god, you are a dedicated person at what, 15? Jeez.
Right, at 15, once I got to the point where I was able to actually read in timely manner the English subtitles.
アニメの力すごいな。
I was like, what if the next step would be to watch it without subtitles, right?
Right, yes, indeed.
So I went to my mom and was like, Mom, find me a Japanese teacher. And
You seriously said that to your mom?
yeah. So I asked my mom, and my mom searched on the internet, asked the relatives, and so on. And she found this teacher who's Romanian, and she's been teaching Japanese. At the time that I found her, she was working as a translator, like Romanian Japanese translator.
What?
Oh,
okay.
My teacher, she's the student of the first person who ever brought Japanese to Romania.
No way!
Like-
Oh my god. How was that first lesson, that first experience in learning the language? Like, did she just teach you words? Like, did she just like show you flashcards or something? Or did she say like, look at my mouth, watashi, watashi? Is that what she said?
I've never had pronunciation classes on any of the languages that I've learned until now. I went to the class for the first time. I met with the teacher for the first time. And of course, one of the reasons they ask me, it's like, why do you want to learn Japanese? Right? So I told her, of course, because I like anime and...
Did she roll her eyes at you? Did she roll her eyes?
Yes and no.
ロールハーアイズのこれ意味わかんない人もいると思うんですけど、バイロンやってみて。
Okay, I'm gonna be your teacher.
Right.
So how come you want to study Japanese?
Oh, actually, I want to study Japanese because I really like anime.
Oh, we got another one, don't we?
The first thing she told me when I said that, okay, when you come to my class, you leave the anime at the door.
ほう、どういうこと？
なぜかというと、 アニメで使われている日本語、特に少年とかのアニメの場合は汚かったりタメ口が多いじゃん。
あ、そうね。
そう、私が教えている日本語は綺麗で目上の人でも使えるような、丁寧な日本語なんで、ここの授業で丁寧な日本語を勉強しますので、そのタメ口の日本語を一旦全部忘れといて。
ああ、なるほどね。
That's an excellent teacher, honestly.
日本に来て日本語学校行ってる時にその僕の友達がアニメしか見てなかったから、先生に教えてほしい時に「貴様教えろ!」って言ったらしい。
See, they would end it. She was protecting you from that.
じゃあコナンの続きが見たくて家庭教師行ってずっと頑張ってるわけね。コナンは見れたの最後まで。
最後はさすがに。でもう勉強すればするほど日本の生活手段などにも興味で溢れてくる。
おー、嬉しいね。
So I started learning Japanese around maybe September, and the Japanese exam is in winter, in December.
Yeah.
JLPT っていうのは日本語能力検定試験の略で、外国人の人が日本語がどれくらい喋れるのか話せるのかっていうのを測るための試験のことだよね。
JLPT, Japanese Proficiency Language Test.
そうそう。
Right?
N5 が一番下で、一番喋れる人は N1。N1 持ってる人。
はい。
Nice.
And at that time, my teacher was like, "You can't get in just 2-3 months and 5, but it's worth it. It's worth trying to take it as an experience." ダメ元で受験してみてくださいって先生に言われたんですけど、私そういうことを言われた時にちょっと心の中でどうせ受験するなら合格してやろう。
もう気が強い。
Nice.
気が強いぞ。
Nice.
はいはい。
Because of Conan, right? Yeah. That's what Conan would do.
I was supposed to fail the exam based on my Japanese level at that point.
そうね。まだ 2,3 ヶ月だもんね。勉強してね。
But I had a 隠しの武器がありました。
Oh, okay. Cheat sheet. Cunning.
Yeah. じゃな
Really?
い
Oh,
じゃない
I was about to say. You're like, ah!
それから
絶対ダメ。
So, when it comes to JLPT, there are like 3 sections, right? You have the Dokkai Bunpo, the Mojigoi, and the Chokai. You have to take, there's like a minimum tensu. So what I did, I took barely the minimum for the Mojigoi and Dokkai Bunpo.
Oh,
Nice.
But I've been hearing Japanese until now.
Correct. Oh.
So my listening point was high enough to pass it giri-giri.
なるほど
Nice.
ね。
Nice. You did it. You did it.
アニメの力。5歳から15歳までずっと日本のアニメ見続けてるわけだから、
そう
もうだいぶ鍛えられてるもんね。
耳がね。
N5 のレベルね、新しい車ですねって書いてあって、
はい。
新しいの下に線が引いてあって、
あー
1番新しい、2番新しい、3番新たしい、4番荒だしいで、
Aradashi.
まだ間違えてる。
Uh,
この新しいの漢字の読み方どれが正しいかみたいなテストってことね。
そうそう。
確かにでもこれ全然知らなくて 2,3 ヶ月しか勉強してなくて受けたら結構難しそうだよね。
yeah, if I was 13 years old, this would just all be hieroglyphics to me.
でも最初漢字勉強し始めた時に本当にエジプト文字だって
だった。
最
That's what I
初
thought
最初の
too.
印象は。
Yeah.
As I kept on learning and learning about Japan, about Japanese people and everything, of course, one thing that starts coming to mind, I want to go to Japan!
Of course, of course.
なるほど。
And
And
I see this little kanji right here. What happened there, Anna?
it says 来日
I see. I see.
お、19歳で来日どうやって来たわけ？
Did you Naruto run here?
Yes, I Naruto run and then swim.
Just where
Put your
your
chi,
chakra
your
on
chakra.
the-
You put your chakra on the feet so you can
so you can walk on water. That must have been a
yeah.
long walk. for
Yeah, it
you.
was
Yeah.
quite.
Oh my
長い
God.
って
これは文部科学省 MEXT ね。
お
MEXT がの奨学金で来日しました。What MEXT is,
おうおう
it's a scholarship that the Japanese government gives every year to a total of, I think it's maybe 300 or 400 per year.
Yeah.
The main ones are the scholarship for the undergraduate and the scholarship for masters. What I went for was undergraduate, which is gakuguse. Right? For the undergraduate, it's around 100 students from I think a total of maybe 60 countries, something like that. So from the Mexico scholarship, 100 students from all over the world, basically.
え、すごくない？
That's yep.
え、
Yep.
その年で100人くらいってこと？
そうそうそうそう。
その小学生の一人に選ばれたってこと？
そうです。
ごっ。
お見事。
その奨学金をもらうためには
はい
何したらいいの？
3段階があって、
はいはいはい。
で最初は書類選考。自分の国にある日本大使館に行って書類を申し込んで。
ああ、で熱い気持ちとかを書く。
そうそうそうそうそうそう。And the second 段階 is you have an exam. And the exam it's based on what 選考 you choose. So at the 書類選考, you also write down if you want to go for 文系 or 理系。And
You don't have to pick your favorite.
you have to pick your major, basically. So what I picked was 経学. And for the 経学専攻, you have to give an exam for English, Japanese, and mathematics.
Oh, I thought you have to pick your favorite gyudon place, and if it matches the
No,
one of
that happens after you come to Japan.
Ah,
No,
it's like if you pick Yoshinoya and then they pick Yoshinoya, then you get the scholarship.
Yeah, no,
right?
that's how you choose your university after you come to Japan, right?
I see. Okay.
わけないでしょ。
長っ。
And that's when I first find out mathematics is not taught the same way everywhere.
どういうこと？
'Cause
ルー
like
マニアと日本が違ったってこと？
そう違った。Because like I was on a K high school and I was pretty confident in my maths. The test is made by the Japanese, so they put what they expect a Japanese high school to know, basically. And the way they put the questions, like half of the questions that were on this test, I've never seen anything even remotely similar in a mathematics textbook.
それね、日本のテストの方が難しすぎたってこと？
そう難しかった。
いや確かによく YouTuber とかが言ってるのは、アメリカの数学のテストと日本語の数学テスト比べたらレベルが全然違くて、日本はめちゃくちゃ難しいらしいよ。
そう。
Oh, what?
Or like they would put tests of stuff that a binary system.
You have to translate binary.
You have to
and-
translate binary in high school.
So they teach you how to be a robot in Japanese school. That's basically what they're doing.
I had 2 ways of coming to Japan anyway. I participated at the Japanese speech contest
Oh, okay.
before my Rainichi day and I won.
Oh, shoot.
And the prize for the first place is a plane ticket to Japan.
Oh, okay.
I was already having another ticket from the embassy from the scholarship.
Oh my god. So then, did you sell it or like what did you do with that extra
売
ticket?
るってすげえアメリカ人の考え方。
I can 一時帰国 in the summer.
ああ、つまり奨学金ももらえたし、私はスピーチコンテストでも勝ちましたよっていう自慢がしたかったってこと？
Yes. That's what it was.
Just a humble
That's what
brag.
it was.
ルーマニアって大学生何歳からなの
19歳から。In Japan, you start at 6 years old, right? The school. In Romania, you start at 7.
で、19歳から大学でもうルーマニアの大学には行かずに日本に来たって感じ？
あ、ルーマニアの大学にも行った。
あ、行ったの？
なぜかというと、
Wait, how?
日本は4月からじゃん。
大学がね。
大学も、まあ、高校とかもそう。
ほうほうほ
ルーマニアは、まあ、高校までは9月、大学は10月に始まる。ほんで、高校卒業したのが6月。卒業した次の年の4月に来るために奨学金に申し込んだわけ。
う。なるほどね。で、プラスその奨学金に通るかどうかも分かんないから
そう。
ルーマニアのブカレストの大学に
そうブカレストの
行ってて、
そう
でも奨学金通ったからもうやめようっつってプイってやめたってこと？
そう
かっこいい。
Okay.
So I was just eating breakfast, getting ready for my last exam
Okay.
on the Romanian 大学 that I was 通ってる at the time. I was just checking my emails just normally while eating, and then I saw a Japanese email. My fork just dropped.
衝撃のもしかしてってなったんだよね。
My hand starts shaking.
Hi,
I
hi,
like
hi.
barely managed to press on
Yeah,
it so
yeah,
like I
yeah.
can see it. And like refresh it to make sure it actually is
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And like just show my mom. And I was like, Mom, this is... I didn't know what to say. I'm like,
Yeah.
can you see this? And it's like, What is this Chinese thing you showed me?
おいおいおい
Like, no, it's from Japan. Like, from Tokyo. Like, Tokyo!
なるほど。まあその最終試験の日に朝受かってるのが分かったと。
そうそう。
あーもう大学の試験もその日受けずにって。
一応受けた。満点取った後に、はい、諦めますと。
自慢するやつ。
また自慢来ましたね。
また自慢来ましたね
皆さん気をつけておいてください。
はい。
東京外国語大学行ったの？
そう1年間このメクストの奨学金は5年間の留学になってて、で最初の1年間は東京外大か大阪外大で日本語学校みたいな感じ、日本語の勉強と自分の専攻の勉強を日本語で行う。
なるほどね。じゃあ1年間は東京で日本語勉強してたと。
そうそうそうそう。
ここがもう人生の一番今までどんどん日本に興味持ってきて一番幸せな1年間
マジもう人生で最高の1年間だった。For me, Japan was 初めての海外。I've never left Romania. Like I've seen the Kokai with Bulgaria once passing with the car. Like, oh, yeah, そこの向こうはブルガリアあるんですね、みたいなぐらいはあったんですけど、ちゃんとルーマニアを出たことはなかった。
There's a lot of, I would say, anime nerds. They get here,
Right.
and then they lose interest in Japan,
Right.
right? But then, for some reason, I mean, this is like your first time in Kaigai.
Yeah.
Why were you able to like stay so happy like in Japan?
そもそもなんでそのオタクの人は来てさ興味失うわけ？
They think that everything that exists in Japan is just anime, right? And they're not used to the work culture. They're not used to everyday life in Japan. Maybe they don't like gyudon. Maybe they actually just don't like eating sushi, or like they don't like how people interact where everything is tomowashi, right? And it's very hard for them to adjust because there's no subtitles anywhere, right?
Right.
So my question is,
ライじゃないんだよ。ライって突っ込むとこやから今の。
my question is, how are you able to like just like stay? I mean, what was going on through your head when you were going through that? Because a lot of foreigners out there, they fail to get to this part where they're actually really happy in Japan. So.
そうね。
Right.
5歳から19歳まで14年間ずーっと好きでいったら、もうめちゃくちゃ理想のここがあるわけじゃん日本は。
Right.
でその時に実際の日本はどう見えた？やっぱ違うじゃん、理想とこの現実みたいな。
Of course.
理想を超えた。
理想超えた。いいね。
どんなとこが？
いやもう。Like, I was aware that Japan is what we call a very technologically advanced country, right? But I didn't expect you to have toilets that open themselves to you when you enter.
I was gonna say washlet no deai as a joke, and you beat me to the punch. I was gonna say you beat me to the goddamn punch. Oh my.
In all seriousness, I think the main reason is because I was very lucky to have a very helpful environment. I met with other people that were about to get on the same scholarship as I was on the plane. For example.
What?
So I wasn't alone. I was standing next to the person that was also gonna take same classes, who was from Poland. We were just like, oh my god, I'm so excited. So am I. I'm so excited. It's just that.
Oh my god.
When we arrived, Tokyo Gaidai was like, Kami, mohaya Kami, because they picked up from the airport on a bus. Pretty much all of us that came through Narita, they just picked up all of us at the same time. We were on the bus and everyone was with their phones out, taking pictures from the bus outside the window.
特に何かあるわけでもなく。
Yeah, like I was just taking a picture of the simplest, most どこでもあるビルとか神社とか. I took a picture of the street that said Tomare on there. I'm like, I've seen this anime before. It's real.
It's real.
とまあレって書いてあるやつね、大きく。だって建物も全然違うもんね。ブカレストとかとね比べて。
You have to go to the shiakusho to like register yourself as a resident. The teachers literally took us all in a bus, drove us to the shiakusho and help us fill out all the forms that we needed.
That's so nice.
そうか
They
そうか
held your hand.
在留カードの登録とか、
そうよね
あと銀行口座を開くためにもこういう手続きを
なるほど
全部もう何をしたかは覚えてないぐらいすごく丁寧な助けをもらったっていう
That is the first omotenashi in the country, huh?
Pretty much
すごい楽しかったと東京で
もう最高。その後はほんの少し上がってるのが神戸に来た瞬間。
そうね神戸大学行ってたもんね
そうそう
あとの4年間はね
そう。Because like that's what the first year is. Like getting you ready to get into the actual 大学 for 4 years with the Japanese students. Because like once you enter university, you're gonna take the same classes as all of the other Japanese. You're gonna take these 100, 200, 300 people courses, and it's gonna be you and maybe one or two other foreigners in the whole class.
Interesting. Okay.
So you need to know Japanese
なるほど
to some degree before coming.
で神戸大学入ってちょっと楽しいです
はい。
これは一体これ何がありましたかね
富士の出会った時
そんなに用意入れてないわやったのに
いやいやいや、まだやってないし、だって。After finishing the first year in Tokyo, I got N2. So I was getting so confident in my Japanese, like, yeah, I'm gonna get to these classes, I'm not gonna have any problem, right?
Oh God.
I went from Tokyo, where I was learning
That's why, huh?
Hyojungo.
Oh no. Oh no.
And then I entered Kobe University, and we have the Aisatsu stuff where they explain everything and whatnot. それで I was like, oh, I can understand this. And like the first Aisatsu I did understand, but then the person changed. And like the next teacher that started explaining to us like how to toroku for classes and whatnot.
Was Okinawa.
Like I don't know what he explained because he was speaking in very thick Kansai Ben. I couldn't get anything. I do not know Japanese. He just pushed me so hard off my high horse.
I bet.
そうか
あなた何やっとんねんみたいな。
その通り。
確かになんか日本人が思うより日本の方言って難しいよねだって絶対最初勉強するのって標準語じゃん教科書も全部標準語だし、でそれで東京1年間いた後に関西来たらそらしんどいわそれが原因で落ちたってこと？
それが原因じゃない。
ほうほう
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, I hate Kansai Ben.
そう
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like. So what happened, Anna?
And then I started to miss home.
Ah,
あ
there it is. There it is.
Let me explain it to you what homesick is. I would go to the gakushoku, and you would have the teishoku style, right? And you have the sizes of the kome. So I will get not even S size, but I will get puchi size kome.
もっとちっちゃい
もっとちっちゃい puchi. And I couldn't eat even half. I barely ate half of the puchi kome when I first came to Japan.
あんなにいっぱいご飯食べるあなたこの前飲み文化の動画撮った時にずっとご飯を食べてたあのあなた
落ち込んでたもん。
5人の誰よりもご飯をいっぱい
もうホームシック
食べてた
だってなんてやねん。
もういいじゃんそれ。
じゃあ結構やられてたんだね
So I was like, can I just have some bread that's not sweet, please?
Right.
確かに日本のパンは全部甘いのか
So am I. I was the shopai. And where are the sour soups? Like salty and sour foods.
なるほどねいや僕がアナに会ったの22歳とか3歳よね多分
あ、そうそうそうそう。
Wait, how did you two meet again?
友達の友達か
そう、友達の友達。
僕が主催してるランゲージエクスチェンジイベントに共通の友達が来てくれてでその後みんなでご飯行こうってなって、アナに初めて会ったよね
Interesting. Okay.
そうでここから
That's like when we met, no?
We met more like around here.
Did we meet over there? Oh,
Yeah,
and then you
here.
went to deep depression. I never
あの
noticed.
ジャパンラブ関係ないから
あ
バイロン嫌いはもうで24これ何が起こったのここは
社会人になっちゃった。
There we go.
ああそういうことかはいはいはい就職したもんね
So
あ
I was aware that like working in Japan it's very different from other countries. But the first shogeki was the fact that What do you mean you don't have sick leave?
病気した時の休暇ってことね。
そう病気特殊の休暇。
うんうん。
It's like not that my company or other companies don't have it, but like why is it not in the law? That's like EU. What it does, it's in the law that you have to give sick leave to your employees.
Right.
Otherwise, it's illegal. And
Correct,
that's not
correct.
illegal in Japan.
It's not illegal.
It's
yeah.
not illegal. Like, please make it illegal. Also, like, we would get the business kenshu.
Right.
I was kind of excited about it. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna get to like actually get into the bread of what it means to be a shakaijin in Japan and like all the politeness, all the gishiki taking up stuff, right? It was like, it was more excitement and everything. But then I would take the lessons and the teacher would like teach us how to bow. Ojiki no shikata no kenshu. When you do something very bad, you should bow at 90 degrees. Normally, you would have to bow at like 45 degrees. And he would put us to bow next to each other. And we would check each other's angles.
What the heck? Did they include Dogiza in that class too?
I was expecting it to have a together class too, but
That would be so interesting.
apparently
Yeah.
not.
How deep does your forehead have to be touching the floor for a
Right.
proper Dogiza or like?
彼冗談で言ってるんでね。
Please. These are jokes. These are jokes.
確かに衝撃だね、それはね。
それは衝撃。
そうね、いやでもやったかも。ビジネス研修で会社入った時に「こんにちは」と「ありがとうございます」のこの背中の角度が違うんですみたいな。
So did they have like a protractor for every student in the class to check how the angle was of your bow?
You mean like the thing that hakaru the angle?
Yeah. You know, for the protractor, it looks like
そういう丸いやつ。
yeah, it's like this. It's like this, and then a line, and then they like put it up to like your waist right here and your leg, and then they have to check on like what angle that you're doing. Is that how they do it?
43度四角。
There it is.
そういうのが
そう
あってちょっと最初しんどかったと。でもなんか上がってきてない、いろいろあって。
そうしんどかったけど面白いものもあったから。例えば敬語の使い方、日本語を外国語として勉強しているものとして敬語はかなりのハードル高いもので、日本人も敬語で苦労してるなって
で母国語なのにそうね、新卒の社会人めちゃくちゃ大変だからね、敬語。
そう
ネットで調べるもんね。
But like after a while I started to change the way I see things, because you realize that for a lot of things in life, of course there's like kyoktan experiences are like either bad or good, but for most experiences that are more or less in the gray area, it's not about the experience but more like how you look at it. It's about your perspective and like, are you gonna see it as like a mendokusai, what the hell are these Japanese doing, this makes no sense, or are you gonna look at it as like, oh, this is very different from what I'm used to, this is a learning experience. You know? And I would go back down again where like I would hear from my boss like 離席率がちょっと多い. I'm like
席外しすぎじゃないって言われてるってこと。
Yeah, I was like
おーすごいね。
sorry for needing to go to the bathroom more than you, like こうアメリカとかさ成果主義じゃん、日本は成果というより頑張っているところを見せてほしい、特に新卒の場合は。
そうね。
そうだから私としては書類作成がちゃんとしてて、こうそういう成果があったら態度とかどうでもよくないって掴みたいと同時に、まあそういう頑張ってますよ見てくださいみたいな態度を表すのも大事にされているという考え方もありますよねって。語に入れば語に従えという言葉もありつつ、まあ真ん中の解決方法とか見つけ出すとか。
これなんで上がってこれたの？
慣れたっていうところもある。
慣れた
まさかの
101とかあるじゃん。こう101で実は西洋の考え方こうで日本の考え方間違っているとは思ってないんですけど、ちょっとこういう真ん中のやり方を見つけることはできませんか的な話を持ち込んだら、こうちゃんと聞いてくれて勉強し合えた機会になりましたねっていう。ま あその他にみんなの支えもあって友達の支えもあって
急にありがとう言われてるけど会社の人が結局優しかったんだよね。僕日本人だから会社の人の気持ちもめちゃくちゃわかんのよ。日本人だけでやってるルールでみんな当たり前としてやってることがアナとしては辛かったっていう時に多分道は2つあって、いやでもそんなこと言われてもルールなんだから従ってよねが日本人だけの輪だったら多分あると思うのよ。でもいやアナがなんかしんどそうだからじゃあそこは話して、おのおの変えていこうっていうようなところで会社も変わってアナもちょっとじゃあ変わってくれたから頑張ろうかなみたいな感じになってどんどん上がってきたってことよね。はい、ということで今日はアナが日本を愛した理由、歴史について話してみました。
どうだった？
I guess that is right. Yeah, you are the you gawa. Yep.
いやなんかね僕すごい今日楽しかったなと思ってて、リアルじゃないこれって。全然知らない状態から興味を持ってすごいこう頑張っていくと。なんかもう恋愛みたいじゃない、もうどんどん知ってってわー好きってなってだからこの東京の1年間とかはまだ日本語を勉強するずっと。でここから日本語で勉強するとか日本語で働くとかになるからなんかこう自分がどんどんアウトプットしないといけない感じになっていくと付き合いました日本と付き合いました、でその後やっぱりいろいろあるよねって思ってたのと違う、こんなもんもう別れようかしらって言うけどでもまた復縁しましたみたいな
that's what you mean, huh?
そうだってさこれ、正直な話卒業するタイミングで自分の国に帰る外国人の人めちゃくちゃ多いよね。
Yep. Yes.
いやだからすごいリアルだなと思ってこれが日本に来てくれてありがとう今日はね日本を愛したアナの人生ということで、振り返ってみましたけど皆さんどうでしたでしょうか、この動画ね面白かったら他のメンバーとかね
I want to know too now, right?
Oh yeah, I want to know Paul. I want Paul to talk to Shin. Like, come on.
他に僕らに話してほしいトークテーマがあればコメント欄までよろしくお願いします。それでは次の動画でまたお会いしましょう。バイバイ。ちゃん
寝る？
登録お願いします。